Please welcome Cindy B.
Is that good? Thanks, Michael. Well, let me just begin by saying I suck at math. I always have, and I always will. It's just a fact of my life, and I've accepted it. So you can imagine my disappointment when, in the 7th grade, I got assigned to Mr. Holt's algebra class. Now, Mr. Holt was the wrestling coach, but he made it certain with every student that they would be terrified of him, and we were. Well, come to find out, there were 2 good things about Mr. Holt's class. The first good thing was that he allowed extra credit. And so every morning, we would get, every beginning of class, we would get to turn in our extra credit. It's the only thing that saved me. But the really good thing about Mr. Holt's 7th grade class was Yvonne Pulowski. I was in love with her. And luckily, I sat right behind her in the very last seat next to the door. Now, every once in a while, Yvonne would come to school and she would have her hair down. And when she came on those days, and sitting in front of me, her beautiful brown hair would cascade over the back of her chair, and it would touch my desk. Oh my God, was that a good day. Because I would look over to my left and be sure that nobody was watching, and then I would sneak up and I would touch her hair. Oh boy, good day, good day. Yvonne did not know that I existed, which was actually kind of okay with me, because when you're in the 7th grade and you're in love with another girl, you don't really know what to say. So I let that go. But I was in love with her. Well, one day something terrible happened. Mr. Holt's wrestling team lost to an inferior group, and he was pissed off. We knew he was going to be pissed off. And he came in class, and he bellows out to us, "Turn to page 300. Well, that was like way beyond where we were. But we all dutifully turned to the right page, and he takes the chalk and he just slams this equation all across the board. The chalk breaks and it squeaks and chalk dust goes everywhere, and he keeps going. And he says, "All right, are there any questions?" Well, even the smart kids didn't know what to ask. And so he says, "Good!" And he takes the chalk and he throws it at the chalkboard and he says, "Do number 2. Well, everybody looks down and they start writing. And I'm like, what the hell? I have absolutely no idea what's going on here. So I look at this problem, and it's all full of X's and Y's and equal signs and numbers that are mashed up with letters. And I think, okay, I gotta look busy. So I take all the numbers and I just kind of disregard the letters, and I add up all the numbers. That doesn't really take me that long, even though I'm not good at math. So I look around and everybody else is still working. So I think, okay, I'll do something else. I'll divide this by a number. Oh, we're in room 14. I'll divide by 14. Well, not being very good at math, this does take a while. And so I work this out, and I look around, and everybody else is finally poking their heads up, and so I circle my number, got it down. Well, then Mr. Holt starts in, and he starts on the right-hand side, and he points to the first person. What's the answer? No, wrong answer. He goes to the next student. Wrong answer. And he's going down each row, and he gets to the last row. It's my row. And he goes down, and nobody in front of me is getting it. So he comes to me, and I'm like, no big deal, because nobody else got it. Nobody else got in trouble for not having the answer. So I just give my answer. But there's this pause. And he says to the class, "Well, finally, somebody in here's been paying attention." I'm like, holy shit. And he says, can you just please stand up and tell us how you got that answer? Oh my God. So I stand up and I look at the clock. There's like 30 seconds left of the period. And so, of course, you know I'm stalling. I'm stalling for time. I take my notebook and I rip the page out. And I stand there and I straighten myself up and I knock my pencil off my desk. And I bend down and I get my pencil and there's still time on the clock. And I'm like, shit. So I say, okay, look at this equation. You know the equal sign is very important here. You have to have that in every equation. And you see all the numbers to the left of that equal sign? They are equally important because you can't do this without any one of those numbers. And thank God the gracious bell rang. Well, all the students could not wait to get out. They're just like mad dashing to the door. Well, being in the last row, we kind of got trapped and couldn't get through the door, so we're standing in line. And I'm standing, waiting to get out of that horrible classroom, and I feel Yvonne Pulowski. She's right behind me. I feel her breath on my neck, and she whispers, "Wow, I didn't know you were smart." Oh my God. Yvonne Pulowski thought I was smart. Wow, well, I'm trying to recover from this, and all the kids have dashed out the door, and I'm next to go out the door, and I think, oh, crap. I left my notebook on my desk, and it's got my geography homework in it. I have to go back. So I squeeze past all the rest of the row there, and I grab my notebook. Well, by this time, everybody has gone out the door. And as I turn, I see Mr. Holt out of the corner of my eye. And he's standing there, and he's kind of like got his arms folded, and he's got this smile on his face. And he says, "You know, you get extra credit for today." And I said, "Thanks." And I got to the door, and it dawns on me, there's no way in hell I got that right answer. There's no freaking way. And so I'm thinking, okay, two things maybe. Either Mr. Holt knows that I'm the kind of kid who needs to stay on the basketball team. Or else, does he know I'm in love with Yvonne Pulowski? Well, I get out the door, and those two possibilities don't even enter my mind because I'm in the hallway now, there's all the other kids, and the only thing I'm thinking of, Yvonne Pulowski thinks I'm smart. Thank you.